Welcome back to another episode of Pretty Petty the Podcast. I'm your host, Tito Alvin, and in this podcast, we talk about the hottest topics, trending issues, and everything pretty and petty. So kung first time mo dito, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell para notified ka sa mga bagong episodes. Kung sa Spotify ka naman nakikinig, you can follow our podcast sa Spotify by going back to the main page and then click nyo lang yung follow button. You may also follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok by going to the link you see at the bottom of your screen. Now, I want to start today's episode with one question. Does the complaint against Senator Rodante Marcoleta actually have legal merit? Based on the publicly available evidence, is there enough reason for this complaint to move forward? Because after reading what has been made public, I think the answer is yes. Not because I have already concluded that Marcoleta is guilty, but because I believe the evidence that's already out there is too substantial to simply dismiss. So today, I'm going to show you why I reached that conclusion. The internet is already arguing about whether Marcoleta is guilty or innocent, but I think that's the wrong place to start. Before we can even ask if someone is guilty, we should ask first, does the complaint even deserve to be filed? Because those are two different questions. And personally, I think that's where many of these discussions go off the rails. People skip the evidence and they jump straight to the verdict. Ako, it's the other way around. I start with the evidence, then I ask myself, kung alisin natin ang pangalan ni Marcoleta sa complaint na to, would I still say this deserves to be investigated? And after reading the publicly available information, my answer is still yes. And that is why we're having this conversation. Hindi para husgahan si Marcoleta, hindi para depensahan siya. Ang gusto kong gawin is ipakita sa inyo kung bakit sa tingin ko may legal merit ang complaint na ito. I will show kung saan ako nag-agree and kung saan ako naging skeptical. At kung bakit, after looking at everything that's publicly available, I think this is a complaint that deserves to go through the legal process. So, let's start with the most basic question. Why are the investigators even talking about plunder? Okay? Because contrary to what many people think, hindi porke malaki ang halaga na involved, automatic plunder na yan. So, let's start with the obvious question. No? Bakit plunder? Bakit hindi graft? Bakit hindi election offense? Bakit plunder agad? Well, i-test natin yung complaint. No? I'm not gonna use opinions here. I'm not gonna use politics. I'm just gonna use the law. Okay. Requirement number 1. At least 50 million pesos ang amount involved. Check. According to the complaint, the amount involved is around 75 million pesos. So, on that requirement alone, pasok. But don't celebrate yet because that's only the first box. Now, requirement number 2, the accused has to be a public officer or a public servant. Check. At the time of these alleged transactions, Marcoleta was a sitting member of Congress. Congressman siya. So again, second box natin, check na yan. Now, here's where the case becomes interesting. Requirement number 3. Hindi sapat na may malaking pera. Hindi rin sapat na public official ka. The law also requires that the wealth was allegedly acquired through specific unlawful acts identified under the anti-plunder law. And this is where the real fight is going to happen. Because this is exactly what the ombudsman believes that they can prove. At ito rin, for sure, ang bahagi na siguradong kukontrahin ng kampo ni Marcoleta. So, at this point, dalawa pa lang ang masasabi natin. Does the complaint satisfy some of the basic legal requirements? Yes. Does that automatically mean Marcoleta committed plunder? No, not necessarily. Those are two different things. Yung isa, it talks about whether a complaint has enough basis to move forward, while the other talks about proving guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Magkaibang usapan yon. At sa tingin ko, maraming tao ang pinagsasama yung dalawang yan. No? So now, here's the question that changed my opinion. Actually, hindi yung 75 million eh. Hindi rin yung salitang plunder. The question was this: ano ba ang ebidensya ng ombudsman para sabihin nila na mayroong probable cause? Because if the evidence is weak, then the complaint deserves criticism. But if the evidence is solid, then I think the complaint deserves to move forward. So, tignan natin yung evidence. So now, we get to the most important question. Ano ba talaga ang nakita ng ombudsman? Because if this entire complaint is built on speculation, then hindi ko gagawin itong episode na to. But if it's built on actual documents, that's a totally different conversation. The first thing that caught my attention was the money, of course. Not because of the amount, but because of the paper trail. Around 75 million pesos was allegedly transferred through 3 individuals. Hindi isang tao, hindi lang isang transaksyon. And importante yan. Because investigators aren't describing this as one isolated incident. They're describing a series of transactions. Then, if we take a look at the SOCE or SOCE, or yung Statement of Contributions and Expenditures, according to the complaint, despite those alleged contributions, Marcoleta reported no cash or in-kind contributions in his SOCE. Now, if that allegation turns out to be false, then that's good for Marcoleta. But if the investigators can prove it, that's no longer a simple paperwork issue. That's exactly the kind of question that deserves to be investigated. Then, there's another detail that many people overlook. COMELEC, or Commission on Elections, they looked at this issue before. And some people will say, di ba, wala nang kaso. Yes, totoo yan. But here's the part that people forget. COMELEC was looking at election law. The ombudsman is looking at a possible anti-corruption violation. Those are two different legal questions. So the fact that COMELEC didn't pursue an election offense doesn't mean that there's nothing else to investigate. When I first heard about this issue, I thought it's just another political complaint, another hocus-pocus sa politika and whatnot. Pero habang binabasa ko yung publicly available info, the ombudsman wasn't just saying merong natanggap na pera or they're pointing to a specific document or a specific transaction. And a legal theory explaining why they believe those facts amount to a probable cause. Ulitin ko, probable cause. Hindi conviction. Ngayon, si Marcoleta, he has every right to challenge these allegations. In fact, he already has. He denied all wrongdoings, questioned the complaint, and even filed a counter affidavit explaining his side. And to be honest, and to be fair, that's exactly how the legal process should work. But you know what? Based on everything that I've read, I can't honestly say that this is a complaint that should be simply brushed aside. Personally, I think there is enough here to justify a full investigation. Hindi dahil sa politics, hindi because of personalities. Because I believe the publicly available evidence raises questions that deserve real answers. And if those answers eventually prove Marcoleta did nothing wrong, then that's exactly what the legal process is supposed to determine. But if we never even allow that process to happen, then what is the point of gathering evidence in the first place? Diba? So again, I believe this complaint has legal merit. I believe it deserves to move forward, and I believe Senator Marcoleta should answer these allegations through the proper legal channel. But let's be clear. this is not the same as saying he's guilty. Kahit gustuhin ko man, no? It's not the same. Kasi magkaibang bagay yon. Now, some people might say, kung convinced ka na may legal merit, ba't hindi mo na lang sabihin guilty? Diba? Well, hindi ko trabaho yun. My job is to look at the publicly available evidence and ask whether this complaint deserves to be taken seriously. The court's job is to decide whether those evidences can survive trial. Again, ibang trabaho ko, ibang role ko as a citizen of this country, ibang role ng court. Okay? And I think that distinction, we should all make that. Kasi minsan, sobrang bilis nating humusga. Kapag kakampi natin ang inaakusahan, bigla na lang due process. Pero pagkalaban natin, gusto natin, tapos na agad ang kaso, guilty agad. No? It shouldn't work that way. No? The standard should be the same every single time. So kung naniniwala tayo sa accountability, then we should also believe in due process. Hindi dahil protection to ng mga guilty, kundi dahil protection to ng lahat. At kung matibay talagang ebidensya, due process shouldn't scare us all. In fact, due process is where strong evidence is supposed to win. Personally, ito ang dahilan kung bakit hindi ako natatakot sabihin na sa tingin ko merong legal merit. Kasi if I'm wrong, then the legal process will expose that. If the ombudsman is wrong, then the legal process will expose that too. That's exactly how justice is supposed to work. The goal isn't to convict someone in the court of public opinion. The goal is to let the actual courts decide after hearing lahat ng ebidensya. And that's why even after everything we've discussed today, I still think the right step isn't a Facebook verdict. It should always be in a courtroom. Now, I want to end with this final question. Would your opinion be the same if this complaint was filed against a different politician? Think about that for a second. Kung ang pangalan sa complaint ay isang politiko na hindi mo gusto, would you still be saying kulang ang ebidensya? Or baka matagal mo nang sinasabing dapat maimbestigahan yan? Now, baligtarin natin. Kung yung paborito mong politiko ang nasa complaint, would you still demand the same level of accountability? Or would you immediately call it political persecution? Because I think that is the real true test. Not whether we can defend our favorite politician, but whether we can apply the same standard to everyone. Personally, I don't care kung anong partido mo. Hindi rin importante sa akin kung sino ang binoto mo nung eleksyon. What matters to me is simpler. Ano ang ebidensya? If the evidence is weak, say it's weak. If the evidence is strong, then don't ignore it just because it makes your side uncomfortable. And after reading everything that's publicly available, that's exactly where I landed. I believe the complaint against Senator Rodante Marcoleta has legal merit. I believe it deserves to move forward. Not because I have already decided he's guilty, but because I believe the evidence deserves to be tested in the proper forum. Ganun lang dapat yan kasimple. Okay, at dyan ko natatapusin ang episode na ito. So please don't forget to like and share this episode. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our podcast on Spotify. You can also follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok by going to the link you see at the bottom of the screen or just go to linktr.ee/PTPettyThePodcast. If you're a brand looking for partnership and collaboration, please send me an email at prettypettythepodcast@gmail.com. And with that, lagi nating tatandaan to always stay pretty at huwag maging petty. Bye-bye!